Hey, it's Trish, and if you're in business, you very likely have at least one direct mail marketing list of names that you own. You may have many lists of these names, and these lists could be current customers, former customers, trade show leads, webinar attendees, sales leads from a CRM, you name it. But these names should be very valuable to your business. However, they won't be valuable if those names don't also include verified addresses. So if you can't actually get the mail to them, then this list doesn't have a lot of value. Now, in addition to making sure that your names on your list have verified addresses, there are 5 other reasons why it's really important to keep all of your house lists updated. First things first, USPS is all about standardized processes. So if you standardize the addresses and you run them through the system, if they're standardized, then you can qualify for the best mailing rates. Non-standard addresses cannot qualify for the best mailing rates. Secondly, maximizing deliverability. So if you have some addresses that are incorrect, those addresses won't get to the destination. And so you need to make sure that all of the addresses on your list are deliverable so that that investment actually reaches the destination. Third, delivering and removing and updating undeliverable addresses. So some addresses are just completely undeliverable. It's called UAA. You've maybe heard the term UAA. That's undeliverable as addressed, and those are tremendously expensive because they never get where they're going. So updating or removing undeliverable addresses is also a really important thing. 14% of the population moves every year in the US. So also being able to run the list against the most current addresses and moves and being able to make sure that those addresses are updated is very, very important. And lastly, number 5 is removing duplicate addresses. So, when people get a double piece of mail, it feels very wasteful, and you're also spending double to get that second piece of mail there as well. So removing duplicate addresses. And really, this is all about saving money. So not only about increasing the value of your list and getting to the best targets on that list, it's also really about saving money and not spending any more money on postage or, the materials and everything than you need to. So critically important. Okay, so to standardize and update your list, what is the process that it has to go through? Well, there's actually a 5-step process. You can see it here behind me. First step is CAS certification. So CAS is a Coding Accuracy Support System. And what that is it's a process of standardizing the address to meet USPS specifications. And it's creating what they call a complete address. And so it's completely standardized exactly to USPS's specifications. Super important. But what CAS doesn't do is it will tell you that the address is standardized and that it exists, but it won't tell you if the occupant still lives there. And that's what the next step is all about. NCOA link. NCOA stands for National Change of Address Database. And this is a database of 160 million people, addresses in the US, and the list goes back 4 years. And so what this does is it basically compares it then and makes sure that the occupant still lives there. And if not, and if they've done a change of address, it updates that address. Now, the challenge here with the NCOA link is that only about 60% of people and businesses who move actually notify the USPS that they have moved. But there is something you can do. AccuZIP's ACOA service goes way beyond the NCOA link database, providing 20 to 40% more matches than running NCOA link alone. Where do the matches come from? They cross-reference compiled databases from credit cards, retail, utility companies, and more. The next step in the process is to dedupe. So that is, if you've ever heard the term merge purge, same thing. It's really all about eliminating duplicate entries. There are exact duplicates. That's an easy one, right? Identify the exact and then get rid of one of them. And then there's something called a near duplicate. So that might be where, let's say, my full name is Patricia. So there might be 2 entries, and one says Patricia Witkowski, the other says Trish Witkowski. So you have to kind of identify them both, get rid of one. And so that's that step. After that comes flagging or suppression. This is called list suppression. And that's when you are flagging names for different things like, deceased list, prison, nursing home, do not mail list, all sorts of other reasons to not mail to that address. So that step is all about kind of flagging and identifying potential names that shouldn't be mailed to. And then lastly, there's the append step. And what's important about this is a lot of apartment addresses or business addresses with suites or something like that, they don't have the suite number or the apartment number, and that really greatly affects the deliverability of the piece. So there's an append step where you can then, gain all of those appropriate apartment numbers or suite numbers for businesses. So all of these steps are really, really important. So how do you get started? First things first, just get your arms around what you have. Decide, is it one list? Is it multiple lists? Take a look, see if there are certain pieces of information that are missing that you're looking to acquire. All of these things are very helpful in the process. If you have not run maintenance on any of your lists within the past 90 days or so, then they're likely in need of updating. So that also gives you a sense of a timeline. You should be doing updates every 90 days, or at least within 90 days of a mailing. After that, determine, is this something that you want someone to do for you as a service, or is this something you want to do yourself? If you want to do it as a service, all you do, ask your printer, your mail house. There are also some online resources. It's basically called list services, and you can send your list in and they can run it for you and help you with what you need. But doing it yourself is actually not that hard at all. There's some great resources. My personal favorite is AccuZIP's Pay-As-You-Go model. You can upload your list and they'll run it through CAS, NCOA link, their ACOA system that I was telling you about, suppression, apartment append, you name it, and they end up with a squeaky clean list at the end. So there's some really great things that they offer, so I'll have a link at the end of the video. But the most important thing is to realize that you need to maintain your lists and to start in the process of taking care of them and keeping them updated. It will save you money and it will make your leads more and more valuable because they are current and they are accurate. So there you go. Keep up with your lists. See you next time.